All right, ladies and gentlemen, week 4 of the NFL. We got to get the Bullseye 5 in for y'all. But first, let's talk about what happened in week 3. I'm solo this week as my partner Dez couldn't make it, and he won week 3. He won the first week of our Bullseye 5 for the rest of the football season. Dez goes 3-2. I go 2-3. There's not much to say. He, had a very nice picks. If we want to go through them quickly, put on the Ravens. Surprised that kind of what happened there. I had the -7.5. Thought this would be a great game. They lost outright. Des got that one down with Colts +7.5. So this was a tough one. Tough one for the kid. That was 0-1 for me. We both got the Patriots -3 against the Jets. The Patriots almost fumbled that one. God, that Hail Mary at the end. They couldn't get a first down in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was just brutal. Dez running up with +2.5 against the Steelers. Fantastic bet. Gosh, I should have ran on that one on Monday night. But I tailed perfectly on the other side here with the Seahawks -6. Beautiful. They won by 10 or more. Okay, now this is the one where we might have to talk a little bit about and apologize. I thought the Bears might have an opportunity here to showcase a little bit what they're about. Justin Fields and the crew, but they are currently the worst team in the NFL. And they got blown out in the first half, 36-34-0. Just nothing to say there. Went out on a limb, thought 12.5 is too many points, and got embarrassed. So until let me gain your credibility back. It could take a little bit. I understand. We have some hiccups along the way. We still went 2-3. We're gonna get it back this week. I'm very confident in week number 4. A lot of great picks. So just wait and see. Just give me some time. Give me some time. We both lost out on the Titans. This was the most interesting one of all. +3.5. You get the 0.5 on the hook from the 3 on one of the important numbers. And again, it was in Cleveland. Cleveland is a top 3 defense right now, but they only mustered 3 points. The Titans, Derrick Henry, no show. Just confusing. The Titans and Vrabel, always known to be a good underdog. They're an underdog again this week. A lot of people like them. So we'll see if we go back to them again. But this one was definitely a shocker, just like the Ravens, just like the Cowboys. Just such a weird week of NFL for betting, to be honest. And then Dez he almost had a 4-1 week. I mean, he was going berserk when the Packers came back, but they only won by 1, 17-16. So he had the -2. So that one fell through, and that was your Bullseye 5 for week number 3. So let's run up week number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll run through Dez's picks real quick just to highlight them on what he has sent me. And we'll see if he continues the winning week. I'm not 100% sure he will. He's going with Miami +2.5. This is a very tricky game for me. I'm staying away from just because I don't know who's going to win this game. Buffalo's favored, I think, for a reason. They are technically the better team. Miami's just been really hot recently. Don't take too much into the effect of Bills' defense as top 3, top 5 currently in the league. They've played weaker teams and weaker quarterbacks. But I think this will be close again in Buffalo, which is kind of why they're favored. I would stay away from Des. Take a +2.5. Here's taking Bengals -2.5. Fair. There's a lot of people actually might take the Titans +2.5 here at home. If the line moves, you can definitely pay attention to that. Bengals, short week, flying to Tennessee. Some danger there. Colts -1. He's grabbing that at home. Fair enough. Anthony Richardson's back. And the New Orleans, he's taking the Bucks here +3. I kind of like this, especially if this even moves up to +3.5. I'm taking that. And then he's going the Giants Monday night at home in a crucial game for New York against the Seahawks. Fair enough. Those are Dez's Bullseye 5. But we got to run to our side of the table to right the ship, get back on a winning track, get back to at least 500. And we've got to get at least to 500, make a little bit of extra cash here this week. Week number 4, these picks are money. I'm telling you, and I'm going to explain why. Number 1, Jaguars -3 in London. gone there multiple times. I believe this is their 10th. Been there, done that. They know the experience. Falcons, on the other hand, one of the worst offenses in the league. Jaguars got embarrassed last week. Whenever a team struggles the week before and gets embarrassed by a team like Houston, who's not a bad team, give them credit, they will bounce back. Their offense will bounce back. They had a massive offensive week one. Haven't been the same since. Look for Ridley, Etienne, and the boys to get back into this. -3 is a great line. Falcons can't score. They barely scored against the Packers. Barely scored last week. I just don't think they're the team that's going to take it there. Now this one's a little interesting. I'm going to take Vikings -4.5. Vikings just have been I think they've just been undervalued throughout the season. I know they're losing a ton of games, but they've been close. Eagles, they came back. They got it to a 1-touchdown game. Just wasn't really there for them. The Chargers last week, they could have won. 4.5. Tell me this. Seahawks, this is an away game, but Seahawks -6. Are Seahawks really that much of a better team than Minnesota Vikings? I don't think so. Bryce Young's scheduled to come back. You don't really know what's going to happen with the Carolina Panthers. It is at home. But I think there's got to be a little bit of vengeance game here. The Vikings cannot go 0-4, or else literally the season is over statistically. So I think they're going to come out here and at least get a touchdown win. This one is my least favorite. Going into number 3, this one I love. Steelers -3 against the Texans. Now, the Texans have a little offensive line issue. They've been struggling and health-wise. And I think against this defensive line with TJ Watt and the guys, this is going to be crucial. This is in Houston, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have just written the ship to the right direction. They're moving towards, again, to go 3-1, a massive winning record. This would be a huge win against Texans, who have been soaring. They've been really good recently. The only little caveat here is Steelers back end. Corners and safeties have let up a lot of points to receivers. Tank Dell and Nico Collins have been balling along with CJ Stroud. That's my only concern. But their O-line injuries are the biggest factor. I like the Steelers here -3. Patriots +6. I've been riding the Patriots every single week, and it's got me something good and something bad at the same time. And I think the Patriots can win this outright. And I know as a Pats fan, you're like, come on. What are you talking about here? The Cowboys are a little bit on the low, which, again, when come off an embarrassing week like Arizona, you tend to pick the Cowboys, especially if they're at home. But 6 is just a lot of points, and Patriots are better than the record shows. Could have won against Miami, could have won against Philly. They keep a clean game. This is a huge game for Mac Jones. Huge. A lot of pressure from ownership, the team, and the fans. He's been all right so far this year, but he's been called a dirty player. He's been called different things. Can't win in the fourth quarter. Has had a good passer rating, just can't get over the top. Can he win probably the most important game of his career at the moment? And then, last but not least, I gotta turn back the page. Went against the Chiefs last week, so I'm gonna roll with them this week. Give me the -9 against the Jets. You say that's a lot of points, especially in New York, Sunday night, but when the bright lights are on, how are the Jets going to score against a pretty good Chiefs defense? Tell me, how are they going to score? Trevor Siemian, I don't think, is activated. Even if he is limited to the playbook, they're going to be running the football or trying to, and the Chiefs are going to stop that, and all the Chiefs got to do is get 2 touchdowns? Come on. Usually when the Chiefs play super high-scoring games, teams tend to also score with them, which is why they occasionally don't win these don't cover these high-scoring games. -9 against these Jets. The only downside is, the Jets are due for a little bit of, positivity here, as far as they can't keep losing games like this by such a wide margin. There has to be something positive coming in from this offense and defense, or else it's going to just continue to spiral down. That's the only downside here, but I'm going to roll with the Chiefs. That's your Bullseye 5 for week number 4.
I think I'm in love, say it way too often. I can't play these games, think I'm switching up the offense. See me in LA, I'll be moving cautious, I can feel no pain.